GSTL. Right now, OGS with a 2-1 lead. We'll see what FXOpen can pull out here with Lucky. I am Wolf, and as always, joined by Caldor. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Looking forward to a Pennant versus Zerg, especially with Lucky playing. As I was saying before the break, we casted last weekend at the Fnatic tournament, and well, Lenok joined us for a game or two. And well, we casted Lucky as well. So well, Lenok obviously was a little bit struggling with his English, which is actually not bad at all. He told us that Lucky is sometimes a little bit too cautious. That's one of the tweets that we like very much, as you just mentioned, because he is playing. Well, he just makes sure that the game that he has won away is an advantage, that he's able to really take it and not taking any risks. But on the other hand, sometimes he's overdoing a little bit and missing timings where he could attack and gives his opponent a chance to get back into the match. So one of the reasons why Lenok just said, yeah, he's a little bit too scared sometimes of Terran, because Terrans can be very strong, especially in the mid game. But as soon as you reach the late game and have the perfect composition against the Terran army, then suddenly it gets, with the Ghost nerf from last patch, very difficult for a Terran player to counter it. And this might be something that we are going to see in the next match.
Yep, it's entirely possible. Anything is possible at the GSTL. We're going to jump into the game here right now.
And we have the map Cloud Kingdom to the bottom left. We have the oGs-TL player already with 2 wins. It is
oGs-TL pin.
Finn is pretty confident here. He already was able to kill a Protoss and a Terran player. Now he's facing a Zerg, starting to the top right of the map in the blue color. We have our FXOpen player.
FXO Lucky.
Yep, if he wins this game, he will have defeated 1 player from each race already in this clan war. So we'll see what he can do here. Gonna wall off at the top of his ramp. Very likely, without gas, we'll be going for a 1 barracks expand. Still possibly takes gas, but he's got basically a few more seconds left on that. It looks like he's not going to do it.
Cloud Kingdom, while it's kind of hard for the Zerg player to attack into the 3rd base, this is because of the well, how the map works with the choke points that we have, and of course the ramps as well. But in general, it's a very balanced map, and we talked to a lot of players lately about the new maps in GSL and GSTL. And Lenok, for example, and Donragu, 2 of the Zerg players that said, yeah, the map is fine, it's actually very, very balanced, and they like it a lot. But, well, it might not come to the late game, as we have barracks, the proxy barracks for Finn at this point.
Yeah, a very late proxy barracks, though, and for that reason, he probably won't be able to end the game necessarily. The pool is not a super risky pool. It is a hatch first build, not Lucky, but wow. He did go pool before gas, and it just barely misses the scout. Wow.
Exactly, he misses the 2nd barracks, but as Wolf just mentioned, he didn't cut too many corners, so he built the pool fairly early. He should be able to defend against it. It obviously also comes down to how many drones he pulls, and with the scouting information that he has at this point, wow, very nice.
This positioning on the Overlord. The drone's already in position as well to start working on that SCB.
But he has to attack.
Yeah, he's not attacking. What?
What is this drone doing?
Okay, now he's attacking it, and the SCB will have to be pulled. He's got a Marine here now, though. But the problem is, if he finishes that bunker, it's so far away from the hatchery, it's not that significant. He can fall back to it, though.
And is damaging the rest of the SCVs. Nice, takes down 1 of them.
Yep, the Zerglings are already en route, so he's going to be able to put some pressure on here. He may be able to take out some drones with good micro, but the game definitely will not end here.
No, it won't. At this point,
that bunker I don't think is in range of the other bunker with Marines, and I don't believe so.
He won't be able to save the SCV, which is the important thing.
Yep, and nice targeting by Lucky. I don't believe there are any more SCVs coming with this. Nice micro, though, by Finn. Oh, wow. There is another SCV here, and things are actually getting really scary now.
He needs to be careful. He needs the Spire, but I'm not quite sure if the bunker is actually in range.
Oh man, it doesn't matter because he's just going to target it down. The Queens are out now, though. He's going to go for a bust now with the rest of his Zerglings. This is why the secondary bunker is back here. Does target down the SCV, and the SCV is halted production for now.
He's losing a couple of these Marines right now, once again retreating into the range of the first bunker. We have 1 SCV still going strong. The Queens are attacking it, and the SCV is dead. The bunkers are not finished, but he doesn't have a spine collar. He's just trying once again to build one. Cancels one of the bunkers as the Zerglings are attacking, but still, this is a lot more pressure by Finn than we actually expected early on. Lucky not in the position that he could build one of the spine crawlers. He always builds them to the front.
Yeah, he's always doing that. You know, some people would prefer to build them at the back and then relocate them. He really wants to aggressively build it. He's going to lose a queen.
Ah, he didn't pull it back in time. Loses the queen, which is obviously very, very dangerous.
You can see on Lucky's expression on his face right now just how stressed out and frustrated he is, because he knows that even though he's not going to die here, he's just put himself so far back. And Finn probably didn't expect to do as well with this. If he had actually brought one more SUV and finished that bunker, the game might have ended, man.
Yeah, but the harvester count is 14 against like 20 at this point.
Yeah, he's made so many Zerglings, which have all died in vain, basically. He's going to try to set up a flank here to perhaps catch any reinforcements, but Finn has already moved back. He salvages the bunker. The spine crawler finishes just in time to be useless, and man, oh man, is Lucky behind now.
Oh, definitely. And he was not happy with what just happened. You could see his face in camera, and he knew perfectly well that he lost way too much economy to this. So at this point, Finn looking very strong, going for the expansion. Lucky trying to catch up in the worker count, but he's already behind in the game. And, well, all depends on how Finn is going to follow this up.
Consider that with these 2 additional barracks being added, he's going to have 4 barracks, and because the gas was taken so late, there's going to be no speed for Lucky. In fact, he took an extractor, but he knew he needed to mine more resources in minerals so he could get more drones out. So he hasn't even researched, or he hasn't even gotten enough gas right now. He's at 24 gas right now. He has no speed, and if Finn attacks, he is going to be in trouble. That's why he's making spines right now, because he's like, if he attacks me, man, I die.
He is definitely scared at this point, and he should be. He does not know what's coming, and there could be a lot of aggression coming up by Finn now, so he has to invest into the spine crawlers, which obviously is quite an... it sets him back in the game right now.
It costs money, it costs drones. It's just 2 things he cannot afford to spend right now, but he has to, or he dies. He's in such a tough position here. He's droning up as hard as he can. 3rd spine crawler will finish. He's not going to cancel it even after seeing his opponent's bunker, just because the bunker could be a fake.
And he has to take some risk here. He's going to lose an overlord as well. Nice scanner by Finn. We see some Terran players trying to use a barracks in order to grant vision onto the high ground. Finn uses a scan, which is fine as well.
He wants to make sure his opponent doesn't know the command center's timing there, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Baneling Nest goes down again. Lucky has to play so scared right now. He does not know what's coming.
It's going to be really, really tough. But he has to take some risks now. He has to gamble a little bit. He has to get a good economy, and he's getting 3... Well, this is kind of the style that you normally use when you start, for example, without gas, and you get like 4 queens in the opening, so you play gasless for a little bit longer, then you start taking 3 or 4 gas at a time. And this is kind of what Lucky is doing here right now. He waits a bit until he takes the 2nd gas, the 3rd and the 4th. He maxes out on gas and will start tech very soon. He has Banelings now, double Evolution Chamber as well, so we'll definitely see a style that centers a lot around the Zergling play. And we've seen him play on this map against Alive and Noblesse last week, where he was only using his Infestor play. So we might see exactly this style again. Mutalisks on this map, not the best choice, because you don't have any dead space.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Behind the opponent's bases, where you can hide with the Mutalisks, and
consider
it's gonna be tough.
4GG right now has 3 reactor marines, 3 reactor barracks pumping up marines with a ton of siege tanks already out, with siege mode done as well here. He is going to have a sick timing, and it's going to be so difficult for Lucky with this many marines and the potential for reinforcements. He needs to get Baneling speed right now, but he can't because he doesn't have a lair yet, but he needs it if he wants to have any hope of defending against that timing attack. And here it comes, man. This is going to be so tough. Stim is not done though, so that's going to be one thing he has in his favor. He's not going to be able to kite the Banelings with Stim.
At this point, I'm actually a bit disappointed that Lucky didn't spread his creep further, because with the creep spread, he also has the speed advantage, so he can try to take down the Marines if he gets into a good position. And he knows more about his opponent's movement on the map. So I'm a little bit surprised that he does not really spread his creep tumors, because he has to know that this is something that might help him defend against this push.
Definitely, I think he would have if he had, you know, if he was less stressed out, and also if he had not lost that queen early on. That really hurts him a little bit. Looks like Finn is actually just going to attack here at an angle I don't think anyone would expect. He's lost so many marines to the spines, and the spines being worth their weight in gold. And there is a counterattack here.
Nice.
Things looking really good for Lucky, as good as they could be, but He doesn't have any Banelings yet.
Don't
18
forget
more Zerglings.
that, on the other hand, Finn does not have Stim yet.
Yeah, it's only halfway done. And he has to turn around now, so Lucky doing a great job here. Finn attacking into those spines really hurt the strength of this push, I feel. If I were him after that scan, I would have killed some of those tumors and gone around the left side, and I think he wanted to just hit this timing so specifically that he couldn't wait any longer. But now there are Banelings out regardless. We're going to see a flank here.
Pretty tough decision by Lucky here to actually attack into the tanks. He's losing way too many links. On the other hand, he has the problem. If he does not attack, he can't take a third. And here comes the infestation pit. 30 additional Zerglings are being built.
Yeah, Finn has to turn around.
Yeah, he throws Finn back for now. He's going for +2/+2, so the upgrades definitely helped Lucky a lot here. And he has to attack. The problem is he has to attack it to siege tanks, but if he does not attack, then he can't take a third base. And he desperately needs a third now. Here it is, trying to establish a third hatchery. Still a very tough battle for Lucky.
Absolutely, man. This is a really, really tough position, but he has gained a lot of ground with the killing of those siege tanks. But this next attack is still going to be just as scary, and Lucky's actually just going to engage here. Stim is done. He actually targets down the Banelings with the siege tanks before the siege tanks fall, but again, a really good trade for Lucky. I cannot believe it. He has 1/1 upgrades on those Zerglings against no upgrades for 4GG, and that is really the problem here.
Oh, definitely. Those upgrades help him quite a lot, but now we have a bit of a drop going on in the main base. Is he able to defend against it? Oh, he pulls off all his drone as he realizes that his Zerglings are completely out of position. And, well, at this point, Finn should just completely abuse the high and low ground situation.
That's exactly what he's going to do. I think this is such a good place to drop. You can drop now down onto the third, and then as soon as the Zerglings come there, he can just go into the main. Such a difficult situation to deal with as a Zerg. He's now split his units, though, and should be able to defend this. No targeting on the Banelings.
It's gonna be tough here. He doesn't target the Banelings.
He's making 3 spines right there on the main clip. Pathogen glands are almost done, Calder, and dare I say it, I think Lucky is ahead. The command center for Finn is not done yet. It's almost done, but with his third base up and running and the composition he has, plus the upgrades, and the only thing I really have to say, and you also criticized him for this as well earlier on, is his creep is not looking as strong as it could be, but everything else for him is looking great right now. Nice targeting on these Banelings by Finn, though.
The last 2 engagements that Lucky won helped him a lot in coming back into this game. Just look how many Infestors he just built. He had 10 Infestors on the production tab. And, nice. Beautiful.
And guess what, man? If Calder, if he catches this army of Finn is going to be almost in an unwinnable position with how many units he's lost. He has to defend this. If he can do it, he is going to be in a huge lead.
That was a beautiful scan. This scan was so important. He saw the Infestors and he knew very well that if he attacked now, he would be dead. So he retreats. And at the same time, we have Lucky with an attack at the third. So he delays the expansion for Finn.
Consider these Zerglings are at +2/2, so these Marines may want to reconsider their battle. Looks like he just has a little bit too much, so he has to run away.
Lucky must be so relieved at this
play by
point.
Lucky. Yeah, I mean, I cannot even stress enough. I mean, how much of a deficit he was playing from, and the engagements he won. He has actually taken Finn. He's taken the knowledge of Finn, saying, "Oh, you always do timing attacks. It's really well known for hitting these timings." And he's like, I'm going to be ready. And he just barely, again and again, crushes the army with these timing attacks. And now Lucky's just too big, man. Yeah. He's just so big.
Lucky just stabilized now. So he is on 3 bases. He is kind of stable. His opponent just took his third. And as you can see, we have Lucky with a Hive Tech and with a Spy at the same time. So he's preparing exactly for the combination we talked about earlier. And this was the original plan of Finn, was to make sure that Lucky is not able to get the Broodlord and Corruptor combination with the Infestor support. But this is exactly what Lucky is going to do right now. So if Finn is not able to do some damage now, then he suddenly has to face a very, very potent unit composition that Zerg is, well, let's face it, Alive said it at the weekend when we cast and we asked him about how a Terran player can beat this composition, and he said there is no answer. You can't defeat Broodlord Corruptor if the Zerg has a perfect ratio between the two of them and is backing it up with Infestors on the low ground.
Look at this, he's going to catch this drop. Drop the Marines out, I dare you, says Lucky, and boom, pops that drop. This drop will be easily defended with the Spines, Queens, Spore, everything.
Nice. Lucky is ready, and I love the decision that he placed the spores and the spine crawlers not only at his natural but also on the high ground at his main base. This is exactly what you need to do, because at this point Lucky knows what can kill me. I was behind earlier, now I'm in the lead, and if I just defend my bases, if I make sure that his drop play is not throwing me off, then I will be in a position where I can take the game. He's playing this perfectly well. He is everywhere, defending against drops and preparing for his huge push.
He is looking so great. Corruptor production has started here. Adrenal glands are on the way. And he does get a glimpse of this army. He's now going to go and surround it. The Zergling count is insane. I can't see it, but I think he probably has at least 80 Zerglings on the map.
And look at the upgrades. He's going for +3/+3, while we have only 1-0 for Finn. Finn's upgrades are horrible at this point.
Oh, he's going to perhaps use some Infested Terrans to draw Siege Tank fire for the Zerglings. The Zerglings coming in, a beautiful flank. And oh my god, bungles everywhere. Great play by Lucky here. He has taken out the army of 4GG now for a, I guess, fourth time.
Amazing play by Lucky, coming back from this huge ups in the early game. And now we have the Infestors just trying to they take down every single of these Medivacs. Very well done by Lucky here. He is in such a potent position right now. Dominant position for him. We have him already with a Broodlord tech. He's going for the Corruptors as well to back it off, but there are not even any Vikings in the army of Finn. And he won't be able to defend against this. I don't see a chance, especially as +3/+3 is now coming up, not only for the Zerglings,
but the Broodlings as well, yeah. Consider if Lucky wants to, he can actually, even though his creep spread is not that good, it's something I'd still like to be a little bit critical of. If he can take a position at the bottom right at that third base and just siege up with his Broodlords and Infestors, what can Finn ever do? He can try to do drops, he can try to harass, but there's already great drop defense in play. He can leave a few Infestors at home with the amount of spines and spores he has at each base, even little things like that with the Zerglings and Banelings there. There's no way for Finn to adequately harass. He's going to need all of his manpower to take out these Broodlords, and if he doesn't do it the first time, he's going to lose.
And the problem is he only has Marines, so what is he supposed to do? Stim forward with the Marines, run right into the fungals of the Infestors. That's what they are for. They are on the back. They will fungal the Marines to death. The Broodlings will help a lot, and there's nothing that he can do in order to make this work. The Lings are now even going in. I think the only...
Look at how small that army is.
The only option that Finn has is trying to make Lucky defend. So maybe split up his force, trying to get into a position where he can put pressure onto the third, onto the second, and force Lucky back. But I don't think that Lucky is going to fall for it.
I don't think he will, and he's got such a great defense setup already. Look at his Zergling burrow positioning. He can see his opponent's army no matter where it is. He's forcing more stims here. He's cornered this army. There is another one on the other side, but this army will be cleaned up.
Exactly.
You can hardly call that an army. Look at this. He left Infestors back at home, just like I said. That is it. GG. Beautiful play by Lucky.
I'm so impressed here.
So am I, man. And this is why we were both saying earlier that Lucky would be the perfect choice to play against Terran.
He has been a little bit shaky against Terran lately, shown mixed results, but this game was just amazing, especially after the start. I have to say, well, I have to admit it. When Finn pulled this attack off, I thought, okay, Lucky. I really thought we might see another win for Finn here.
I thought so too. You know, if he had attacked from a different angle instead of attacking to the spines, his Marine count would have been preserved, so he could have taken that back home, or he could have just perhaps tried to win by attacking a different angle. He lost so many Marines to the spines at bot. Lucky enough time, and Lucky crushed the army twice. When they crushed the second army, I was like, oh, he's so ahead now, and then he just took that lead and ran with it. Perfect, precise, patient play out of Lucky. His start was shaky, as you said, but damn, was his late game intense.
Especially the first run-by that he pulled off. It was amazing. Finn decided to move out with his army. He had 2 tanks in his composition. Stim was not done just yet. And what Lucky decided to do was to use basically his entire force to try a run-by and pick up the reinforcements. And he killed not only a tank, but a lot of Marines as well. So a beautiful engagement by Lucky.
The upgrades came into play, man,
yeah,
so
then
quickly.
He suddenly was able to crush his opponent from 2 sides. The upgrades, as you mentioned, he was on 1-1 when his opponent had not a single upgrade. And later on, we even had 2-2 upgrades against 1-0. So beautiful position for Lucky to be in after this, and was great.
It was a win-win situation for his run-bys, because his run-bys were set up in such a way where he was like, all right, you have all of your army in one place, then I can't kill reinforcements, but I kill any units you have back at home at your natural and SCVs. If your army isn't all together and you've got something at home to defend, I have enough Zerglings because I have 1-1 upgrades and you don't have any upgrades, that I kill your small force that's at home. And so either way, I win, because he was at a position where that run-by was just like, it was absolutely impossible to stop. Now let's see who's going to be next for OGS. And only time will tell. Who will it be? Oh, is it Juke2? It looks like it's going to be Juke2, man. It's going to be a ZVZ. Juke2 hardly comes out.
Interesting choice.
I think they don't feel comfortable playing against Lucky with either Terran or Zerg right now. They want to play him in the ZVZ. Now, Juke2's ZVP is, statistically speaking, not the best, but I have seen some really good play out of him in the past in that matchup outside of the GSL on ladder and things like that. So his ZVP is actually fairly decent. So if he beats Lucky here and they pull out a Protoss against him, he will be okay. We'll see what he does, though. I don't know if Juke2 is going to be able to beat Lucky here.
The thing is, just consider the fact that we have two very strong Zerg players in the lineup of FXO. Juke2, as you said, rarely comes out in the GSL in such an important clan war. So I think that he really prepared for this specific matchup for map in order to take down one of the Zerg players. So
absolutely.
We are definitely going to see a sniper here trying to take down one of the key players of FXO.
Do you remember some of Lucky's ZVZ performances overseas looking really, really poor? For example, his games against Stefano and IPL looked he looked weak. And you have to wonder, is Lucky going to do poorly here in ZVZ? It's a matchup he's been known to kind of flop in sometimes, and that may be part of the reason why they chose Juke2.
Juke2 is not the best ZVZ player, though. He won against Biggs, but on the other hand, it was an IGN Pro League. Biggs is a European player from Switzerland for Team Mouse Sports, but just one of the younger talents. So he can't be really compared to players like the Korean that we are going to see here, especially not Lucky. And in the GSL November, for example, in Code A, Juke2 lost to Monster in the ZVZ with a 2-0. So he definitely prepared a strategy in order to take down one of the Zerg players here. He prepared for this specific matchup. We are going to see what he's trying to pull off, and Lucky is aware of it.
Yeah, indeed. I'm really, really curious to see what type of ability he pulls out here. He may just play a longer macro game because, again, statistics aren't everything, and Juke2 has shown, he always shows poor games in the GSL. I mean, he's a guy that most people think he's just not very good, but outside of the GSL, in online training and in the team house, OGS has spoken quite highly of Juke2. We've had a lot of pro gamers in OGS train with this guy and become good players just because they trained with him. He's considered to be one of the best practice partners OGS has, and so he definitely is a solid player who usually chokes when the pressure is on, but we'll see what he does here.
This is definitely going to be an interesting match. ZVZ and Lucky. Well, the thing is with Lucky, sometimes he has some nerve issues, but I don't think that this is going to happen today. He did what was expected from him, took down Finn, but obviously as the series is tight now, we need another win for FXO. That's exactly what Choya said to him when he sent him out, so let's see if he's able to pull up against Juke2.
But the map is going to be dual site, just another way for a map to be removed basically from the pool. So for example, Vines later can come out as a really strong pro, so he doesn't have to play on dual site. So just a cool map choice for a mirror here to get rid of a map that Zergs and Protosses do not like against Terran.
And most CBZs on dual site are just so aggressive.
Yeah, they are. A two-player map, the rush distance not very long, very difficult to take a third base, some might even say impossible in this matchup. We'll see what sort of build order we're going to see from Juke2 here right now, because we're jumping into the game at the GSTL with Wolf and Caldor. Don't go anywhere.